What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are finishing the third day of June, and it's another green day for me. Up $1,400 today, just under $1,500, which puts me up $2,600 in the last 2 days. Now, right now, we're still in a market where it's a little choppy, and we're not seeing really good follow through. Not a lot of home runs, but a lot of base hits, and those base hits add up. So last week we had a very choppy week. Almost every single day I started in the red. My very first trade out of the gates, I went red, and then I had to spend the rest of the morning digging myself out of the hole. And that worked. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I finished green, but then Friday I went red, and then I went further and further into the red. And now I'm trying to dig myself out of that hole. And it's just doing it one trade at a time, one base hit. And I'm not in a place right now where I can be really aggressive. I've got to be on the defensive. I've got to just dig myself out of this hole without taking a lot of risk. When you're having a really great week or a really great month, you can afford to take a little bit of risk. You can say, look, I'm up $8,000 this week. I can take $1,000 of high risk on this trade that, if it works, could give me a $5,000 5-to-1 ratio. A really good winner. But when you're in a position where you're digging yourself out of the hole, you can't be as aggressive. And so it does hurt you because you end up missing some opportunities that could end up really boosting your P&L. And that's the price you pay for getting too aggressive at the wrong time and digging yourself that hole to begin with. So right now for me, it's all about base hits. Green is good. I'm happy with today, happy with yesterday, and I want to do it again tomorrow. So anyways, we're going to break down all of today's trades in today's midday market recap. All right, enjoy. What's up, everyone? All right, so we're going to break down the trades from this morning, finishing the day up $1,496. You can hear the scanner still running a little bit. I'm done trading, though. I'm going to lock it up and be happy for another green day. So, that's $2,500 in the last 2 days, and that's the way you start digging yourself out of the hole, one shovelful at a time. So obviously lost money on the first day of the month. I did the same thing in April, and I did the same thing in May, and I still finished May up $75,000 or $74,000. So, despite starting the month with a loss, I was able to bounce back, and here we are today, third day of the month, and I'm working on digging myself out of the hole, and then going into the green. So up about 2,500 this week, 1,100 yesterday, 1,500 today, so 2,600, whatever. It is also the 100th day of the year. So we are almost halfway through, not quite. We've got about 220 trading days in the year, but making nice progress here. So I'm just gonna write this in my calendar, $1,496.53. All right, green is good. But you know what? Today was another day where the market was a little on the choppy side. No huge winners. A little bit of profit on a couple different names. Green on all 4 names, which is awesome. 7 trades and 5 winners. So in the last 2 days, my accuracy is 76%, which is solid. But there are no home run trades. Good winners, progress is great, but nothing that I'd consider a home run. So let's look at today's trades. All right, now this morning we started by looking at the gap scanner as always, and on the gap scanner we didn't have a lot that looked amazing, but we had 2 that we were watching. So the gap scanner, this searches, as you guys know, for the stocks in the market that are up the most today, and it does that pre-market. So at 9:15, which stocks are up the most? And this is a really good indicator of which stocks will be most volatile today and which ones will give us the most opportunity. So as you can see here, this is our gap scanner from this morning. We had AMRH, CODX, and I guess, GII is on there as well, although we weren't watching that one pre-market. So we had a couple that we were watching, and I'm just going to pull up my my pointer. Let's see. There we go. Activate. All right, so here we go. So AMRH, this has a 9.43 million share float. All right, so low float, it was gapping up at the time pre-market. I'm gonna go here to time frame, use historical date. We're gonna search this for 9:15 a.m. All right, so this is what the scanner looked like at 9:15. So it was gapping up 141%, which is a huge gap on 840,000 shares of volume. So decent volume. It did have news on it, which of course we like. That's the catalyst. That's what's driving the stock higher. And we were watching it for a possible scalp over $2. All right, so this was pre-market high was 208. So I mark out the pre-market high, and then I come into my level 2 window here in Lightspeed. I type in the stock, and I type in the pre-market high, which at the time was 208, and I've got my order ready to go. Now, what ended up happening is I ended up double-clicking the ask here, and whenever you double-click the ask, it changes your price from whatever you put in to what the current ask is. So I had put in 208, and then, I don't know, by accident, or I don't know why I did it, but I double-clicked the ask, and that was when it was at 96. I then pressed the buy button 3 times to buy 7,500 shares, but immediately the stock was over $2, and so I didn't get filled on my order. Right out of the gates, the stock pops up from $2 all the way up to a high of 217, 249, and then 260. So that's, 50 cents with 7,500 shares. That's $3,000. But, it is what it is. So I missed that first move, which was the cleanest move of the day. I then ended up taking a couple little scalp trades. My first trade on it was an entry at 248. So I got in right here as it was getting up to the $0.50, popped up to 40, whatever it was, I got in here at 48 on this little 1 minute micro pullback. If we pull this back to a 15-second chart, you'll get a better sense of the pullback that I was seeing. Now, I don't trade with 15-second charts, but I will use them to show you guys what I saw kind of within these very short periods of time. So you can see right out of the gates, we had a little bit of a flag right here at 217, right? And I was talking about getting in at 217, but it just popped up too fast, and I don't know, I guess I didn't get filled or whatever. I think I maybe tried to, but no, I guess not. So pops up over 217, then it pops up to a high of 249. I get in right here for the break over 250, and it pops up to a high of 260. All right, so that's where we see that move right there up to 260. I got in at 49, sold at 53, 52, 57. Sorry, I added back at 57 for the break over 60. This was at 935. So that was back here. We tapped 60. We don't hold that level, and I stop out at 51. So in those first 2 trades, I made like $250, and then I lost like $350. So I was down about $100 on AMRH in the first few minutes of trading. And obviously that was a little disappointing. That's not what I wanted to have happen. But, I missed this first move right here because I didn't get my order filled down here at $2, which is where I wanted to get in. So that's just the luck of the draw. Sometimes that'll happen. So no fill on that, but was able to take a couple scalp trades, and in total made back basically what I lost and finished the day up $14 on that stock. $14, not a lot, but green is good. As you can see, we did break over the highs. This was a place where I got back in for the high day break. Let's see if I scroll down here. You'll see a couple trades on CODX. So 265 here. This was me getting in for the high day break. We got this little scalp set up here. Let's see. So that was at 46, 43. So I was in this right here for the pop up to 70. A small little scalp in at 65 right here, kind of anticipating this break over the high a day. So that would have been right in this candle here. In, pops up, hits 70, doesn't break that level. So I start selling at 69, 66, and I sell the rest at 66. So ended up being only small winner on that. I think I got back in, maybe that was it. So that one was the one that got me up to green on the name, and with that I was just kind of done. So not an easy trade. It was kind of choppy. And when we were doing our pre-trading checklist this morning, that was one of the things I said, is that we're still in a little bit of a choppy market. We haven't seen really clean follow through, So it's still a time to be a little careful. All right, so that was AMRH. Now, CODX was also on our scans this morning. It was gapping up with news, but I was a little iffy about it because it had started to fade a little bit pre-market in this area here. You know, in this area, it was still looking good. So as of like right, well, I can't do that. As of, let's see, as of right here, it was looking good, but then when it started to sell off, it wasn't looking as pretty. But the bell rang and off it goes. So you see initially it popped up to $6 right here, and then it sold off. And as it curled back up right here, this is where I got in. I entered at 620. All right, so we'll go up to this, CODX. So I got in this at 617, 619, 619, 7,500 shares, a little bit heavier on size, but I thought this had a really good chance of hitting the pre-market high of 630, and then breaking through that level. So I'm in this at 617, 620, and then I'm selling on this move through the highs. So it tapped out at a high of 666, and with that I made 950 bucks. So that was the one nice win today, and I needed that one. So almost $1,000 profit on that. I was watching it in this area for a possible move higher, but this candle broke. You know, it broke down, and then at that point I couldn't trade it, so it's just come back down. Didn't hold up very well. Disappointing. All right, next one was NDRA. This one I saw you guys call out in the chat room at $2. When I first pulled up the stock, I saw it hitting our scanners here at 229, 239. You know, I thought the volume was a little light, and I've gotten, you know, beaten up a couple times in the last week and a half on these types of stocks, so I wasn't as quick to jump in it, but it ended up squeezing from 2 all the way up to a high of 280 and then getting halted on a circuit breaker. It's halted, it resumes, and squeezes up to a high of 350. I jumped in it thinking that I might be able to scalp around 350. I got in at 325, added at 340, added more at 342. I was looking for the break of the $0.50, right up here. I was looking for that break. We ended up hitting 350 and not breaking. And when I saw some hidden sellers there and saw that it wasn't breaking, that's when I decided to start selling. So I sold at 49, 48, 40, and then ended up stopping out of the rest at 310. So on that first trade, I lost 250 bucks. I stopped out as it came back down here. But I kept it on watch. And as it curled up here, first 5-minute candle to make a new high, breaking through the VWAP, that's where I got back in it. I jumped in at $3, and it ended up hitting a high here of 320. So I got a little scalp there from 3 to 320 and made back about $350, which puts me up 67 on the name. But again, this is not home run stuff. You know, this is just a little bit of profit, which is fine. In this case, I was, you know, a little bit, I was a little bit conservative on taking that entry. But of course, I have to be a little conservative right now because I just had a big loss last Friday. And right now I've got to dig myself out of the hole. I can't risk going deeper into the hole by taking a higher risk trade. So I'm being a little more conservative, but that's paying off right now. 2 back-to-back green days, $1,000 a day. You know, I can feel good about that. And by the end of the week, start to build up a little bit of consistency. Hopefully I have, the whole week is green, fingers crossed. And then next week, if we're seeing good momentum, I can start to maybe be a little bit more aggressive as I've begun to build up a little bit more of a cushion. Last trade was CHKE. And this one, it's not the type that I'm really that excited about. It broke through $1 and is halted on a circuit breaker at $1.08. It resumes higher. I end up getting in it for a little scalp right around $1.20. So I'm in at $1.19, $1.21, $1.22. I added $1.28 and I ended up selling at $1.32, $31.26. So really a small scalp here from 120 up to 130. I didn't know if maybe it would go into another circuit breaker halt, if it would get above $1.50 and really take off, but it just didn't. So $460 on that, which is good. You know, that's a good profit, and that puts me up $1,496 on the day, which is good. $85,000 in my account right now. I'm trying to make my way up to like $100,000. I took out money last week. I withdrew $50,000 from my account. You know, for the most part, that's the money that I'm going to be donating to charities from last month's profit. But I just wanted to take some money out of the account. That's something that's important for you to do as a trader. You don't want to leave all your money in the account. You want to keep just enough in the account for you to, you know, continue to trade and have enough buying power. And then you want to take out your profits. You want to pay yourself. That's really important. So took out profits and paid myself, and have 85,000 still sitting in there. All right. So anyways, that's about it for today. Another green day. I'm happy with that. 100th day of the year. And we'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning, 9:15 pre-market analysis. And we'll see if we can find a couple more stocks to trade. All right. So that's the game plan. I'll see you all back here first thing tomorrow morning. If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.